Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members. You know, this has been part of the discussions we've had all year, trying to figure out how are we going to control budget spending and where are those pressures. And the biggest pressure in this year's budget, and the one that continues to cause the difficulties we're having, is the rise and the cost of incarceration. And incarceration of adults in this state is what is, in fact, causing the biggest problem in the budget today. We have the issues of the courts, we have the issues of the health care, we have the receiver, and now we have courts talking about whether we're going to cap our prison population. And what do we know about some of these prisoners? Well, guess what, folks? 70% of them were former foster children. You know, and what happens, and so what we have looked at this program, and there is an augmentation in this year's budget that certainly is part of the debate that Senator Runner is raising, is how ought we to structure these in the future. But the basis of this is, number one, I actually believe this is a cost saving program, because if you're talking about the out-year cost that everybody wants to talk about, the question is, how many people can we not have in prison paying $200,000 a head for them, or in our CYAs, which a lot of these young people would end up in our juvenile justice program, where we pay substantial amounts of money to keep them incarcerated, versus the small amount of money that we as a state then pay for this program to keep those foster children from becoming next generation's welfare mothers, from becoming the next generation of incarcerated adults. These are costs that we will pay if we do not do programs like this, which was in fact the reason in last year's budget that we agreed that the state would pick this cost up, because the counties were not doing the program. And yes, we are victims of our own success, as it were, that when we said to the counties, you pay the administrative cost and we will help pay for the beds. We did that. We asked the counties to do plans. We cannot go to the counties and say, do this program, you know, go forth and make a plan, and if you make a plan, we will do it, and then turn around at the end and say, oh, well, sorry, you made the plan, you did everything we thought was important. We will save money based on the program that you are running for us, but we're not going to pay for it. This is a bill for what we owe for this year. We can debate how much the budget appropriation and how many children we ought to be serving under this program in this budget coming up on Monday. The Monday, you know, the budget year that starts on Monday, let me put it that way. And we can debate it for future budgets. And we can debate this question of whether there really are savings, which I believe, and I think many of our members believe, that this kind of program, making sure that these youth, as they emancipate from the foster system, have an opportunity to start to become taxpayers, get their educations, do all of the things that we'd like to see them do, so they are not the next generation's welfare mothers and the next generation's adult prisoners. That will save us all money. We think it's a positive program, and in this particular case for this bill, we owe them the money. It's wrong to withhold this money from the counties. They pay, you know, all of the foster, you know, a substantial share of the foster youth programs, the child welfare services programs. We have not been fully reimbursing them for those programs. If you want to talk about, you know, fairness there, the state has not been fully reimbursing them for their cost of those programs for a long time. This is one that really is on our dime, our savings, our program, and it's important for all of us if we're going to get that structural budget problem for the next 3 or 4 years under control. I ask for an aye vote.